The Los Angeles Lakers have improved dramatically this offseason and should be considered one of the best teams in the NBA heading into the upcoming season. After some mid-season acquisitions last year, the Lakers went 16-7 after the All-Star break and would finish their season 4 games over 500 as the 7th seed after starting their season 2-10 in their first 12 games. The Lakers would have a strong postseason showing, making it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, but the wheels fell off there as they got swept by the eventual champs in the Denver Nuggets. After their playoff exit, tons of questions surround the team as they only had 4 players under contract in LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Jared Vanderbilt, and Max Christie. The Lakers went on to have the best offseason of any team this summer. I had my doubts that they would be able to retain all of their big-name free agent talent this summer, but they ended up doing just fine. The Lakers re-signed Rui Hachimura to a 3-year, $51 million deal. Rui was a mid-season acquisition for 3 second-round picks from the Wizards in January, who would go on to have an incredible playoff run for Los Angeles, helping them get to the Western Conference Finals. There's no doubt that Rui's performance in the postseason had teams around the league scratching their heads, wondering why they didn't go after him themselves. When you look at a team like Milwaukee, who traded 5 second-round picks for Jay Crowder, who was nearly unplayable, the Lakers looked they got away with highway robbery. The biggest surprise of the summer for me was that the Lakers were able to keep Austin Reeves on such a great deal. 4 years, $54 million for Austin Reeves' production is one of the best contracts in all of the NBA. The rumors all offseason long was that some of the younger teams like the Spurs or the Rockets with lots of cap space were going to make a max offer sheet for Reeves, which would have been about $100 million over 4 years. Those offer sheets never came, which means the Lakers get to keep him on a steal of a deal. With a full season as a starter coming up, as well as fully gaining the trust of the other starters and coaching staff, I imagine Reeves will have a big green light next season and will do very well. D'Lo was in an interesting position heading into the free agency. After a pretty poor playoff performance, it was unclear what his value on the open market was going to be like. It was reported after the regular season that if D'Lo remained with Minnesota for the entirety of the year, he would have been seeking a 4-year, $100 million extension. D'Lo played himself out of that possibility, which led him to an uncertain summer. I figured a 1-year prove-it deal would be appropriate for D'Lo, and the Lakers felt the same way. D'Lo's skill set in theory is a great match for both Anthony Davis and LeBron James. He's a 3-level scorer, can get his shot on or off the ball, and shoot well in a variety of different situations. If he's playing well, the offense would be unstoppable, because on top of that, he's also a very solid passer. D'Angelo Russell returning on a 2-year, $37 million 1+1 contract is a great value for Los Angeles. In case D'Lo falls apart again next year in the playoffs, the Lakers went out and got an absolute gamer in Gabe Vincent. Gabe is another player who has a great skill set to fit alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis, a guy who does not need the ball in his hands, who can get shots off quick in a variety of ways, mostly known for his 3-point shooting ability. Gabe was really solid for Miami in their playoff run, hitting a lot of timely shots for the Heat when they needed them most. Gabe played himself into a solid deal, which ended up being 3 years for $33 million. One of the biggest steals for the Lakers this offseason was adding Taurean Prince to the squad. The 6'7" wing has turned in 2 solid seasons for the Wolves, shooting 37.8% from 3 over 123 games for Minnesota. The Lakers bid for his services and got him on a very reasonable 1-year deal for $4.5 million. He's just another wing shooter you can add to the repertoire, which is very valuable to have in a league starved for wing players. To round out their offseason, the Lakers also added Jackson Hayes and Cam Reddish, 2 former lottery picks who have not found their footing in the NBA yet. I'm not super high on either player, but it's worth kicking the tires on. They also added Jalen Hood-Schifino with their 17th pick in the draft, who I'm also not super high on when it comes to his on-court fit with the Lakers. Hood-Schifino had an okay summer league outing, but his biggest weakness was on display, as he shot just 21.7% from 3 over 6 games. Cam Whitmore was right there for them, and looking back, I think they will regret passing on him. If I was the Lakers, the only thing I would have done differently this summer was going after a real center in free agency to play with and to back up Anthony Davis. As we know, AD really likes playing the 4. He will play 5 in the playoffs, but because he's dealt with a lot of injuries, he's better off not playing that much 5 in the regular season. While Jackson Hayes will soak up some minutes at the center spot, it would have been nice for the Lakers just to have a big, bruising, physical center to soak up minutes and bang down low and pick up fouls. The best part about all of these offseason signings is that they're all on very tradable contracts, all short-term deals, nobody making more than $20 million a year. If the Lakers decide to cash in some chips at the deadline this midseason, they easily could add up the contracts to do it. I'm not sure if that's the right play for them, but the options are absolutely there. What nobody's talking about now with this Lakers squad is the fact that AD and LeBron don't have to hard carry anymore. For the majority of the last regular season, specifically before the All-Star break, if LeBron and AD weren't cooking, the Lakers were losing the game. And sometimes even when they were cooking, they were still losing the game. Having guys like Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, and Rui Hachimura throughout the entirety of the regular season in starter roles, they'll be able to carry the load for the majority of the regular season, while LeBron and AD can take it easy some games, or both of those guys will likely miss games throughout the year due to injuries or some load management. Not only do the Lakers have a really solid starting 5, but the depth is there now too. Having guys like Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, and Taurean Prince off the bench to soak up some big minutes during the regular season, this will allow the Lakers to avoid putting a lot of wear and tear on the starting 5, more specifically LeBron and AD. After a dream all season for the Lakers this summer, they will dominate next season and win 50 or more games. As Anthony Davis and LeBron continue to rack up miles, the biggest thing holding them back from a deep run is just staying healthy. When you look around the league, it's hard to pick another team that has a better collection of talent than the Los Angeles Lakers. When you look up and down the roster, this team has so much versatility on both offense and defense. They can go big, they can go small, they can play spread, they can attack the rim. There's really not much this team can't do on either end of the floor. And because of that, the Lakers will be one of, if not the best team in the NBA this season. There's also one more thing we need to keep track of as we move forward with the Lakers, is the fact that LeBron and AD both have player options next summer. That means if the Lakers plan on keeping AD and LeBron around for years to come, this season could be one of the most important seasons that the franchise has ever had.